When you have a morning or a day where you're doubting yourself, or you have someone who's being a bully, or you have somebody say this is a scam, questions dictate your focus, and this is what you get to focus on. All we get paid to do, and I know sometimes we're really good at overcomplicating it, is working on our own health and happiness and sharing it with other people who are looking for a solution. That's it. So, I would love for you guys to help me welcome an amazing panel of women to the stage who are going to be sharing their stories of how they didn't give up when it got hard. Yes, give them a round of applause. Come on, guys. So, and we've got beautiful Shirelle tuning in virtually as well. But first, I would love to introduce you to Sue. So, this is Sue Parkin. Yes, go Sue. Sue lost her 9-year-old son from leukemia, and then her husband took his own life. She's a full-time carer for her mum and was an ironing lady for the last 20 years. Up until last month, where she was able to retire herself from her job after 9 months in this business. I know when I asked you about your story, Sue, you actually told me that this business gave you a story. Do you want to share with people what you meant by that?
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, it certainly did. My story was always dictated by other people. I was the mother of Ashley. I was the wife of Des. And now I'm the daughter and full-time carer for my mum, Lynn. No one had ever seen or heard me, and all that changed 10 months ago when I got a random message from a guy named Greg Whelan. And the message simply said, "How are you?" And I was taken aback because no one had ever asked me that before. So I checked out his profile, took a sneaky peek because I thought he was just a weirdo. And then I saw his beautiful wife Denise and I thought, well, he must be okay. So I leaned in, and for the next 3 weeks, Greg messaged me a couple of times a week, asked me about my health, what I was doing for my health, or how was my day. And then I saw a post on the Complete Shakes and I thought, I'm freaking in. I'm in. 2 weeks later, my shakes arrived, and 3 weeks later, I was the CEO of my own business. And so my journey began there. No one had ever believed in me, and to have Greg not only believe in me, but to actually show me the way was something I'd never had before. And the business was uncomfortable. The side of the business was uncomfortable. It stretched me in ways that I'd never come across before. So I leaned in on practices that I'd learnt to get me through the tough times in the past. I went to the gym every day. I made a list of daily tasks and I crossed them off as I completed them. And it made me feel like I was moving forward, baby steps, just one foot in front of the other. And that's how I got through my days. But now my journey has seen me embody mind, body and spirit. I've added meditation and gratitude to my daily practice. I've learned to love myself, and I've opened my heart and soul to the Juice Plus journey. I turned 59 in February. And that month I was recognised as Rookie of the Month. And on my actual birthday, I became QSSC. I celebrated with my Juice Plus family, my tribe, my community. I felt like a rock star. In fact, the last few months, I've invested in myself and worked on me so I could embrace the rock star. My past life was pathetic. Picture me sitting on the couch of an afternoon. I was eating crap so that I could dull the emotions, and I thought I'd die on that couch. But now, this new journey has seen me imagining I'm standing in my kitchen, I'm cooking a healthy meal with my mum. My name is on the deeds of that house, thanks to Juice Plus. And I'm feeling loved, proud and happy. Look, I know I've forgotten probably 2/3 of what I was supposed to say, but I'm getting there. And now my health is amazing. My bank balance is in the black, which is just great. And I'm not taking those baby steps anymore. I'm taking giant strides towards whatever is coming. So there's plenty of Sues out there who need what you have to offer. So reach out and just say, how are you? There are so many changes that you can make in a person's life. Thank you.
Feel it all. So now we'd love to introduce you to Sarah. So Sarah Dean started this business at 29. She was working in an admin construction company when she stumbled across our products and was excited to make an income doing something she was passionate about. Right from the start, she knew she wanted this to be a plan A and went all in, knowing this was her vehicle to freedom. But she had a slow start. It took her 5 months to get to senior partner, 2 years to get to SC, and she had 2 NMD leaders leave. Sarah, I know so many people in this room can relate to where you were. Can you share why you didn't quit and what you chose to focus on?
Before this business came into my life, I had spent a lot of time feeling really restless and frustrated. It's kind of hard to explain, but I just knew that I wasn't really living the life that I meant to live. And when the feeling would be, too much, I would change jobs, I'd move overseas, I'd move cities. I just felt like I was always searching for something, for that sense of belonging and direction. I was kind of, just stuck in that cycle. Turning 30 had me asking myself some serious questions around why I felt so empty. And most of the time I would fall back into the only work that I knew, which was the corporate world. And it was such a toxic environment. I just, being stuck in traffic and dressing up in that tight and comfortable suit and sitting at a desk all day staring at spreadsheets in a dark and dingy office with big egos, it just, I really didn't feel like I was living my life's purpose and drinking that disgusting coffee that all offices seem to have, the instant coffee. I just really wanted, I remember thinking that I wanted a baby as my exit strategy. I just wanted out. That's when I saw a friend posting around children's health and I started asking questions. I found out that it was a way that I could earn an income, promoting a healthy lifestyle, something that I was really passionate about. I realised quite quickly that this could be the vehicle to my freedom, and I went all in. Setting goals each month and having a supportive group of people behind your back was just so refreshing to something that I never knew from the corporate world. But it wasn't all fairies and rainbows. Like Lauren said, I was a slow burn. I think it took me a year to get to SC, and I did it cumulatively. And I sat stuck or challenged at SC for just over 2 years. I'd had the no's, the ghosting, the strangers that I'd turned into friends, into family. And when they didn't want to do this business anymore, they just blocked me, never to hear from them again. I also had the skeptic partner who saw how much time and effort I was putting into this business and to what my paycheck said every month. But that's because I was treating this business like a hobby and not like a business, aimlessly scrolling on social media. Sorry, hubby, haven't got time for you-know-what tonight because I'm too busy working on my business. Of course he was a skeptical. When my second NMD left the business in February 2020, my confidence was rocked. I asked myself, how can I do this without support and role models? I didn't realise then that that would be my pivotal moment. So I could either curl up in a ball and quit, or step up and be the badass leader that I knew that I had in me. So I asked myself some serious questions. If I don't make this work, then what? I'd have to go and update my resume again and dress up in that tight and comfortable suit, go back to the corporate world, and I'd have to put my babies into daycare all day, every day. No thanks. There was no way that I was going to let someone else raise my two beautiful daughters when I could be the present mum, making my own dreams come true. I wanted the freedom to work from my phone so that I could work from cafes or wherever I wanted and drink the good coffee instead of that instant rubbish. I joined for the community and I stayed for the community. I linked arms with a sideline buddy and we just ran for it. I decided to step up and be the leader, to run my own events, to show up consistently for my team, to show that excitement there. And it was like the first 3 years had prepared me for that very moment, and I was hungry for it. And then COVID hit. And because I'd been so consistent around sharing around the gift that we have in this business, people started reaching out to me. And my confidence and my self-belief grew. My posture completely shifted. I believed so much in what we had and the true gift of our business. There once was a time when I would have said no to being up on stage and speaking like this. But I now understand the true value of the personal development that comes with this business, that has made me say yes to more, to just decide and do the work, to collaborate more and to ask for coaching. You never know when your pivotal moment is going to come, so why not lean into this, give it everything you've got? Because if not Juice Plus really, then what?
Yes, now I'm so excited to introduce you to Sherelle Packer, who you can see tuning in via Zoom because of C-Bomb. 4 years ago, Shirelle escaped a domestic violent relationship and fled with her 6-month-old and her 2-year-old to her family home while she tried to put her life back together and find a way she could work around her 2 babies. 2 months later, she found our business online. Shirelle, I know when you were sharing your story with me, it was anything but easy trying to get it off the ground with constant verbal abuse. It would have been easier to quit. Why didn't you? What did you choose to focus on?
Lauren, quitting was not an option. I had gone from a comfortable financial lifestyle to standing at the checkout with my card declining, hoping no one would recognise me. I had to find freedom and choice, and this was my ticket out. We all know that we'll do more for others than we'll do for ourselves, and my kids deserve better. I had to be that role model for them. When I started, I was burdened with responsibility to provide for my family. I had to work in his traditional business or I wouldn't get child support. I remember that suffocating feeling of not being able to pay for things when I couldn't get the paperwork done. These were dark times, living on food vouchers. I was ashamed, I hid it, I was broken when I found Juice Plus. I had lost all belief in what I could achieve. And after being fed those stories for so many years, I had started to believe them. But I decided that was not going to be our story. If it was going to be, it was up to me. Despite the control he had over me, this business was mine, and nothing he could do could take this away from me. I had to learn to shield myself from the negativity. I would start my day by protecting my energy and not opening his messages or emails. Instead, I would choose a Pinterest quote about strength and determination, and then I would post it. It attracted my first followers and team. It wasn't a strategy, but I realized that so many women needed to hear my message. So I started to care less about people's opinions and more about the future I was creating. I got vulnerable and shared every part of my story, not just the highlight reel. My story became so relatable to others. There was a glimmer of hope. I borrowed the belief of being successful before. If I could do it then, I could do it again. At first, it was definitely about proving him wrong. I used the words he spoke to me at my first conference: "You're a loser and always will be," to light a fire so bright within me. I decided to show up no matter what. And guess what? I hit SC in 4 months and SSC in 13. In the beginning, it was about rebuilding me. I had to rebuild my confidence and my self-worth. This journey grew me personally more than I did as a corporate career woman. In my 4 years with Juice Plus, never have I ever questioned, was this worth it? I questioned, could I do this? And every time, someone in this community was there to believe in me and shine a light on what this could be if I just keep swimming. In November 2017, I made the phone call to say I didn't need to work for him anymore, and it was so liberating. I really became my own boss that day. I stepped into the world of personal development, and that's when everything changed for me. I started to learn how to reprogram old stories. I fell in love with growth, and my why grew. They say we have a why for ourselves and a why for others. My why for me is to break the cycle of domestic violence in my family, to raise my daughter with healthy self-worth, and my son with respect for women. My why for others is so much bigger than myself: to help women around the world create financial independence so they never have to remain in a violent situation due to money. And bigger than that, my mission that truly pulls me into action is to have all women understand the need for financial literacy, a vehicle to help them build a financial wall around their family that no one can tear down. This is my 3rd conference as SSC. I could feel stuck. Instead, I know that this is where I'm growing me, growing my leadership and my character. Personal development is so important to continued growth. I had to go and say that people would be scared to rebuild. I had to do this, and I can tell you it was a gift. When you rebuild, you attract different people because you're different. Please don't judge who needs this or not. What if Alan didn't share this with me? Share your story. It might just become someone else's survival guide.
That was amazing. So now I'd love to introduce you to beautiful Bec Craig. Her and her husband were the owners of a traditional business, running and working hard in a coffee shop 7 days a week, yet still never getting ahead financially. When she fell pregnant with her 2nd child, things were so bad she decided something had to change. She was exhausted, and they were physically and emotionally surviving life. She was introduced to the Juice Plus products after her birth, as physically she needed help if she was going to get through the 4th trimester. 2 weeks into taking the products and being ready to make a business out of it, she got a phone call from her husband crying. With a 5-week-old baby in her arms and a toddler playing in the garden, he called her to inform her he had just been diagnosed with cancer. Bec, I know a lot has changed for you, and hubby is now well, but my question for you is, most mums would quit the business with all that going on. Why didn't you? And what did you choose to focus on?
Thanks, Lauren. I didn't quit, and I'm really proud. I remember that day so clearly. Like, I had baby Rocket in my hands. He was 5 weeks old. Thor was at my feet, and Aaron called me crying like a grown man. It was so full on. But I remember also standing there thinking, like, what if? Like, what if something happens to him? What if I'm alone with 2 small kids? It was in that moment that I realised that there was no one coming to save me. So for the first 9 months of my Juice Plus journey, I did decide that this was going to be the thing for me. It was going to obviously help me with my health and well-being, but also get us out of that coffee shop. After that situation, I realised that I had a bigger purpose here, and it was time flexibility. I didn't want to have to juggle appointments, babysitters, or staff anymore. I hustled. I had a lot of conversations. I enrolled a lot of customers and a lot of team. It was easy. I could do it. I could literally, I could count on me. It was easy. And about 9 months, I had hit a brick wall. I had to start developing leaders, and I simply didn't have that skill. I found it hard to get people to do what they said they were going to do, and I also found it hard to help them get what they wanted. Where I was really confident, I was now unsure and questioning myself in this business. Why wasn't I getting to that next promotion? What was I doing wrong? And is this business even for me? I felt like a true network marketing failure. Hands up, has anyone else felt like a network marketing failure ever? I threw a 9-month tantrum. I was like a toddler. I was frustrated. I was angry for not getting what I wanted. I started to compare myself to others, and day by day, my confidence kept eroding. I'd hit an upper limit, but it was just the universe telling me that I needed to learn some new skills. And my ego, however, was louder than the trust, the love, and it was blocking my abundance in this business in every way that I could look. This is a recurring story for me. I quit when things get hard. It's sneaky and it's subtle because it's justified, because it looks like success. I had to look inside in business, and this was the first time I had to do it, and honestly, it was so hard. I had to take 100% responsibility for what was happening in my business, but what also wasn't happening. I had to become a student. I had to become coachable, get uncomfortable, and be vulnerable. So I stayed in the Juice Plus family. I was listening. It was like an online study course. I was listening, but I was taking absolutely no action in my business. But that's when the magic of it actually revealed itself. I kept getting paid. It takes time to build leadership, and that's what I needed to learn. And I needed to step up and trust that I could actually follow the system and get success here. So I had to ask myself these questions, like, what if I do quit? What happens then? And it was, same old outcome, same old me, same old income. Something had to change, and it actually needed to be me. Heads up, guys, your comfort zone, it's a dangerous place. You won't find income, freedom, or personal growth there, so just be really aware that it's going to come up inside your Juice Plus journey. I needed to activate my growth mindset in this moment. I needed to ask myself good quality questions like, how can I make this work? What do I need to learn? And what can I commit to move forward in my business? The growth that I'm most proud of in this business isn't the dollars, the customers, or the team, even though I love you. It is the character that I was able to build within myself on this journey. It's the character that I built when I wanted to give up so badly, but I knew that I wouldn't have been moving forward in my life and in my income if I did. Isn't it interesting though, like a mum with 2 small kids can find courage and strength to make her way through, a failed business and a husband with cancer, but can get brought to her knees by literally learning a few new skills and realizing you can't do everything solo in this business. I'm so grateful for this Juice Plus business. It's allowed me to build confidence within myself, but it's taught me that me holding a light for others and me not giving up on myself allows other people to hold a light for themselves and not give up. So I'm going to ask you guys today, who else in this audience right now is ready to not give up on themselves?
I love this, and I just really want you guys to take it in. These women that stand before you, that's not where they start. And it's the challenges, it's the face down moments, it's the times that you want to quit that helps you build the character traits that you need to be successful, to help other people through it. So instead of expecting it to be easy, welcome the challenges, get really excited about the women that you're growing into or the men that you're growing into. And I just want you guys to give me a big round of applause, these beautiful women who have shared their stories today.